Okay, Jason Momo, JM on the Fly. Today we're going to tie our craft fur fly, which is a natural, I call it a natural craft fur fly because I'm tying it in natural colors. No flash, no anything, just a natural looking minnow. Pretty much the way they look like in the water. Again, no flash. A lot of times, the flash, you start to get too much flash, sometimes it turns the fish off. This is another option. Again, it's basically made to not scare the fish. Sometimes that flash will just, scare away. If they see too many streamers or spinners or something like that, sometimes they'll just hold off on feeding, and you throw something a little bit more natural color in, and they'll eat it. So let me show you this fly. I'll just zoom in here a little bit, and we'll try kind of get a close idea of what this looks like. And again, this fly here, I'm going to actually put a little piece of white cardboard here so this thing will focus on the fly itself. And this is a gray and white, a little bit of grizzly craft fur tied in there. Let me show you another one. Here you go. Here's a tan and green. Another beautiful color. You see how neat that little fly is. And it's basically matching a lot of the different minnows that you may find in your local streams. Here's a beautiful color. Got a tan black, more to the dark side of the spectrum as far as minnows go. Still has that light belly like most minnows do. And here's kind of a bleeding gill type of white bottom, black or dark top, and a little bit of bleeding gills on that fly. Beautiful. And another thing I wanted to show you is, let's just put one in water here, and there you go. There you go. That's what they look like wet. So you can see what you're actually fishing. So that's what the minnow looks like when it's wet in the water and you're fishing it. And you can see it's a beautiful, beautiful silhouette. And again, we use the fish mask. This is a size 2 SC15 hook on these little guys, because these are just made to little bait fish. I tie them in bigger sizes. If you go to a size 1, you might want to use a size 5 fish mask. This is a size 2 SC15 Gamakatsu, and I use a size 4 fish mask on this. And you can see it's just kind of, matching it as you step up, and you can tie these as big as you want. This is just showing you, I love these things for trout, because trout love they just love the smaller minnows. Certain times of the year they're very dominant. Let me just set this board down to the side. And again, SC15 size 2 Gamakatsu is a hook that I'll be using. I'm going to be using Dan Bailey mono, fine mono. Basically because I use a lot of these in saltwater patterns. So I'm going to take that, and we're going to go to our craft fur. So the first craft fur I'm going to use is a tan, and it's the Select craft fur. Oh, one other thing I forgot to show you. Let me just get this correct so we could put this. Okay, again, we're going to put this fly in here, and I like to use this spring here as a length, so you get some consistencies out of your flies. So basically, you see that right there? That'll give me a length of my tail on that fly. So there you go. Okay, let's get back to the, put my hook back in here. Okay, Now we got that set, we got the length set, and now we know where to go. Again, tan craft fur. Just going to tease out a couple fibers here. Get a nice little batch. Snip that off right at the base. And we got ourselves a nice little batch. Again, going to pinch this. You work it like deer hair. Going to just pull out the extra out of that fiber and keep that because we're going to be using that then. I like to line this up, and you see how uneven the tips are there? Let's just take a snip right through there and make all the tips so they're pretty much even, so that we have a place to lay this so it's just shy of the spring. Again, a nice wrap, leaving them fibers right on top. Just like that. We're going to go with another little batch of the same tan. And we'll come up back and get another batch of the tan. And exactly how much is completely up to you. You can make it, heavy. You can make it light. Same deal. Pull out the batch, the under fur, just like you would with deer hair. Snip them off to length. Lay them right on top, and again, just shy of the spring. The spring is what sets our length, so that's why we have that spring there. And I'm going to tie this back before the bend of the hook. Come around, let's hike that up. We're going to go front a little bit with this, and again around and hike that up. And then our next step is we're going to take these fibers and we're going to pretty much separate them like this, pretty much in half, and we're going to tie them down and away. And that's going to be our belly then that we cut out. If you've seen that nice defined belly on the craft fur fly, that's how we get that. Next material that we have is going to be some grizzly craft fur. You can find this stuff online. It was at first it was tough to get. Now there's quite a few different places to get it. And again, we're just going to pinch out the under fur, take ourselves a little batch. This we are going to cut off, and I'm going to put this little batch up on top and to the camera side like that, and another little batch cut this out, and another little batch, again pulling the under fur out on my side and on top. We'll line that up and just tie that right in. So you can see that if I turn that, you can see what that looks like. Basically, we're just working our way front now. We'll come back to the tan. This is the piece that I cut out. I'm going to take that by the tips. I'm going to grab the longest fibers here. Pull out all the short ones. Keep the longest ones. And I'm going to tie that in. And I'm going to tie it down and to the camera side, and then the other part half down towards my side. And you see that's just kind of bulking up that belly. That'll end up being trimmed out later. Again, back to the grizzly. And we'll put another little batch of fibers on top and to the camera side. I could have cut them beforehand, but we'll cut them afterwards here. Okay, just like that. And another little batch on the top and to my side. And again, every time we're picking out the short fibers, just leaving the little ones. This one here I will cut. There we go, just like that, top to my side. Wrap that in, and we come back down onto the bare hook. And you can see what that looks like. So we basically just added some more bulk to our side flares. Again, the other batch of tan that you have laying there from what you pulled out earlier. Pull out the short fibers. Wrap and tie that in. And down, and down. And that's a little bit skinny. Don't really like that. I'm going to actually add a little bit of craft fur that I'll have to pull off. Just to bulken that up a little bit. Let me get rid of that piece. Here we go. And the length really doesn't matter because, again, this is the belly part. It will be trimmed. So let's give a little bit more hair down there so we have something to trim. That's kind of the deal. So then again, down and away, down and away. So both of them materials are tied down. I'm going to take one more piece of grizzly on this. One more length of grizzly. Hopefully we can get some longer fibers even yet. There we go, kind of the longest fibers that we can find. And there's not a lot of really long fibers in this grizzly stuff, you'll find out. Snip that off. These are going to tie right on top. So just tie that right on top. Just like that. Just kind of mash everything down like that. And then we go to our olive. And I believe this is called golden olive. Any olive craft fur that you have. We're going to take a decent little clump of that. And this gets laid right down over the entire back. Take a pretty decent amount, but not so it's overwhelming the fly. And again, come back, you got them little loose fibers, let's kind of make a length on that. And we're going to lay that right over the top where that's going to look good. And that looks about right there. I'll lay that on. And remember, as far as the wing and the sides, there's no trimming on that. Everything that gets trimmed will just be the belly of the fly. So a nice loose wrap on top. Just like that, we'll pull that tight. Just like that. And we'll whip finish. Nice whip finish. Put that in there just like that. Okay, so we're all pretty much set and ready to go. Our next step is pretty much to, we could trim this out. And basically, like I said, we're not trimming any of the fiber here. We're just trimming out the belly. So we're basically just trimming out that section. And that gives us a lot of short fibers, and we want a really predominant belly in this. See if I can actually find my better scissors here for trimming. For some reason I ended up with my garbage scissors for this whole fly. If you're wondering why I'm struggling a little bit, that's why. And again, I'm just taking that and I'm cutting out the belly of this fly. And it's a predominant belly. It's see, that belly sticks down, and that has a lot of heavier fiber. That's like the heaviest part of my fly, is that belly. And you can see when I turn the fly, that belly kind of just really dominates and sticks down. And when it's wet, just like that, you can see the silhouette in that fly where the belly just kind of sticks down. And when it's wet, that kind of just gives you more of a deeper belly type of a look. And that's kind of what we're going for there. Our next step is to put a number 4 fish mask on this. That's going to go on just like that. And the way I do that is I'm going to take Bondix. This Bondix stuff is absolutely awesome when it comes to fly tying. Put a nice little bead the whole way around the thread wraps, just like that. Not going to worry about pushing any of the excess glue around. You can take a pin or even your finger like this and just get rid of a little bit of it. But the trick is get that helmet right over top and dead center, and then you simply take the Bondix, the light part of it, and I'm looking at this right now. I'm turning this to my angle, so hopefully so I could look straight down and see that I have a beautiful bond and that I'm dead straight in line. So as I turn this, you'll see that that head is pretty much right where we want it, and I'm curing that glue right now with the light, and you end up with a beautiful fly. You see how nice that is. Let that glue harden just like that, and our last step is to put some eyes on this. Basically, how you put the eyes on this, we got a number 4 mask, which takes a 4mm teeny little dot of glue. In fact, I have another little dot here right away I'm going to put on this side. Teeny little dot of glue. We'll take a pin, and I actually have my little pins. Here we go. Take a little pin, take an eye, and just drop that eye right into place. Just like that. You can push it in with the tip of the pin. Let's flip this over. Pick up another eye. Drop that on. Just like that. Center it with the pin. Beautiful. And you can see we got ourselves a nice little minnow creature. We get rid of that hair. That'll kind of come in. We just want that clear. I don't want any hair sticking in there, because our last step is just to take a little bit of Sally Hansen Hard as Nails. And again, fingers are a little bit wet. We're just going to come in and we're just going to coat that head with a little bit. And coat the whole thing over the eyes, right down through the mask, and right over top of the other set of eyes. And you can see it just building up a nice little shiny head. And that is the Natural Craft Fur. JM Natural Craft Fur Fly is what I call that. And it's a wonderful trout killer. I also use these for snook. I use them for all different species. Just giving you a more natural look to your minnows. Rather than having all the... Everybody could tie a flash one and get the flash all over. Let's tie a nice natural type of color. And a lot of times that does the trick. JM on the Fly, I'm out of here.